Recently I made a video about Peep the Fraidy Cat, who had been hiding in her kennel so well that you never would have known there was a cat in there. Eventually she was able to come out and make eye contact for treats, and in this video I'm showing that she is also learning some other behaviors that will help her be more comfortable with people in the future. So what we're doing here is she's making eye contact with me, and I'm showing her my finger and she's touching it with her nose, and I'm flicking her a piece of chicken. So she's making the eye contact with me, and then I show her my finger and she targets, and then I toss her the chicken with a flick. And the reason that I'm waiting for her to make eye contact first is that she's kind of letting me know that she's ready for me to show her my finger, so it's less likely that she'll be scared when I offer my finger to her, which she would have been in the recent past. So it's a really nice way of her kind of having control over this exercise, where she's never consistently made contact with people before now. So after this, I'm just reinforcing plain eye contact with chicken, just as kind of a palate cleanser before we move on to the next exercise. And you can see how fluent she is at making eye contact compared to in the video before. And she's super comfortable hanging out in the main chamber of her kennel, as opposed to wanting to go and hide out in the side chambers or go downstairs. So if she goes downstairs or to the side, those are her private spaces, so I don't train her there. So she makes really confident eye contact, and then I flick the treat towards her, and I use the treat flicking method so that I'm not tossing it, because that kind of tossing motion can be scary for a lot of cats. When I just flick it off of my index finger with my thumbnail, it's a lot less movement, so it's less scary for the Fraidies. So the next part of the training is I'm moving on to counterconditioning, opening the door. How this works is people make eye contact with me, and then I'll just reach towards the door. I won't even open it. I'll just touch it very lightly. So I think here she makes eye contact with me. There you go. And then I reach towards the door. I'm not even barely touching it at this point. So Pete makes eye contact with me again, and then I just kind of jiggle the door. You can hear that little sound, and she immediately gets a piece of chicken. So she is pairing the movement or the touch or the sound of the door with something very desirable to her.
Oh, I know it's so loud here.
And I know that she is still feeling pretty good about this, because she offers me more eye contact, and then I jiggle the door again, and I can give her more treats. So it's nice that it's kind of at her pace, because she knows when I'm going to jiggle the door, because it's going to be after she makes eye contact with me. No. I think in retrospect, I probably would have stuck to just kind of reaching for the door for a while here, because she's at the back of her kennel, even though she's eating the treats pretty regularly. So probably the next time I do this exercise tomorrow, I'm going to just stick with reaching for the door and not quite jiggling it. Although typically, if Peep were pretty scared, she probably wouldn't eat the treats, or she would go into her little cubby. So she would kind of call it quits. So, you know, it's not terrible. I could have done better, though. Then eye contact, little jiggle, and I think I'm starting to open the door a teeny tiny bit. It's always better to go a bit slower than risk going too quickly and traumatizing your cat. Once I heard Angelica Steinker, a dog trainer, say, the fastest way is the slowest way, and that has always stuck with me, because you can never go wrong by going just a bit slower than you think. So here the door is open, she's still taking treats, and I'm just going to start reinforcing just plain eye contact now. And I'm thinking to myself, how can I best close the door without scaring her, because I have no chicken left. And that was a misfire, because chicken is so hard to flick. and it's just a little bit too far. So in a bit, since I have no chicken left, I just reach in and grab that one that was flicked in there, and I apologize for how bad the video is because the phone is just held up against my chest so it's moving with me. I'll do better next time. So I grab that last bit of chicken. There we go. And I flick it towards her. And I'm trying to close the door. At the very end here, she kind of comes up to the front and picks up what's left of the chicken. And I feel pretty good about that. So it makes me very excited about how quickly she's coming along.